And with that, we shall begin as you go your separate ways. Would anyone like to gather intel or look into this on a more personal level? Ankh, is there anything you would like to do?
Would I perhaps know Navigator? Or is there no way?
Make me a roll.
Alright. What type of role would this be? Would this be a consort role to see if I would have mingled around in my area of drivers?
Yeah, why not? Give me a consort.
Okay.
Very nice. The times you've encountered have been memorable as far as your memory goes, and then everything gets a little bit blurry. What you certainly know is that there's been many a night at several of those that work the waterways have your own kind of little drinking holes and spots you go to. Whenever Goldie's been there, you don't know where she puts it, but she's fun. Stamina of a bull elephant. Tolerance of a bull elephant.
Would one of these times be before we do the score? Could we do a fortune roll to see if she's at the bar, or no?
I'll say on the back of that 6, yes. She's there most nights.
If it's a gather information roll, I'd like to ask if the toy maker is complete attached to their contingent, or if they're more a periphery.
Certainly on the her exact word is something of an associate.
Okay. I think that's it. I just wanted to know if we're gonna completely piss off the Foghounds. And now being acquainted with Goldie might be helpful. That'd be all for mine.
Cool. Praescio. If you're not sure, we can come back to you. Have a think about it. Okay, cool. Templar.
I want to go check out the location that this auction is going down. Just get the layout, see the area where things might be staged. Try to get a good mental image of it.
Sure. So maybe a check.
I'm gonna go survey on one.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. My rolls are back, everybody.
Oh, that's what that's what we're counting on.
The big guy's not even gonna be able to land a single punch. Good luck.
It's as you round the corner and a few questions here and there that people in sort of coded language managed to direct you to the very narrow and secluded gin lane, which itself has a side door onto a warehouse that leads into this much more kind of intimate back office. There is a point where you round the corner and you see a very large figure hunched over, big and wax jacket, collar pulled up against the elements, and two blue coats outside, both in custodian hats. And as you round the corner, you see both of them. And there's this point of what you see something clearly change hands. And the blue coat nearest to you turns around. Keep walking.
Templar nods and keeps walking. Not supposed to be here. Don't want to be here. I want to be anywhere else.
That's the what you have seen there is the this is the evidently the blue coats patrol somewhere else fund tomorrow night.
It's at least a little bit of information, so I mean, I'm glad I got that off of it too.
And Caroline.
I think I might prepare some ghosts to have around the location, since I cannot invoke them, ask them to post themselves nearby. So if we need more help, they will be already there.
Go for it. Make me that check.
So it's gonna be a chum.
It's gonna be one of those days.
You're aware of a presence that's drawn as you shift that perception into the ghost field. You feel a presence behind you, an ominous sense of creeping dread. And as you turn around, the way you see the world snaps back to normal, and you are alone once again.
Well, let's hope we won't need that.
Okay. Totally nothing to worry about.
Absolutely not. Completely fine.
Absolutely.
I love
Praescio,
feeling ominous dread.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Praescio.
I'm gonna hit up Celia for information.
Okay, so up to you. You can use this as part of your engagement role, or you can do it now and get potentially some intel.
Yeah, I wanna do it now.
Okay, cool. What do you want to ask?
I wanna ask her of any other similar occurrences in the past of somebody selling dirt on captains or anyone of note in the blue coats.
Okay, make me that check. And she gives a wry smile when you ask about anyone selling dirt. I have honestly no idea what you're talking about.
This would be
likely consort. Yeah, dealing with friends and
control. What would it be?
I'd say normal, as it's your friend of yours. We'll say greater effect at this point.
Great, okay. Boop.
Ooh.
Oh, very nice. As as you meet with her in one of her favoured tea houses in night markets. She takes on the information, just stopping whenever she has questions that require some clarification, and then nods, thinking about it. Let me see what I can dig up. Expect everything tomorrow morning, the very latest. And that, as that day dwindles into night, and the next morning rolls around, you are awoken and heading downstairs in your rather lavish home. There's a silver tray waiting for you with a single letter on it. Contents of the letter contains 3 decided examples of similar events. Usually pertaining to the Bluecoats, but a couple of times in the past it has involved magistrates, and on one occasion supposed inspector, the more kind of upstanding members of the city police. On all three occasions, when this information was sold, it was sold by somebody seemingly who no one knew who they were, and emerged going under it. But the modus operandi remains the same. Somebody will emerge with secrets, they will sell them on, and then probably disappear afterwards. On a couple of occasions as well, this has also been purchased, especially in the cases of the magistrates. They had people buy the information themselves on their behalf, and were prepared to offer extortionate amounts for it, implying something quite ominous or nefarious that they didn't want going out into the public at large. The information, however, is unavailable. Whoever is selling this seems to be at least upstanding in their resolve not to let this be divulged to just anyone.
And just for personal curiosity, do these 3 occurrences, the names, they're all different?
Yes, there's one that's by the Maestro. There's another one is let's have my one is from the Jackal, and the last one is from the Engineer. So, and then
Was one of those the Jackal? It was the Jackal, the Engineer, and what else?
Maestro.
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 You're not selling information, are you, Ankh?
I need to have some words with this man. He's stealing my thing, other than the arm thing.
Well,
About branding, guys. Gosh.
that note re-solidifies in Templar's head. He needs to have a word with this person.
Ankh's right there with him.
Okay, so with that, let's make an engagement roll. You're going social, you've all got loads sorted. So, question the first. Is this plan overly bold or daring?
I mean, we're kind of messing with the Foghound, sorta. But daring, I mean, this is an auction being hosted selling blackmail, and we're gonna try to mess with it. Assumedly, people are there for other reasons as well, so there's a lot of money changing hands, and messing with money is never a good idea on the best of cases. So it could be daring in the sense of, like, there's a lot of tensions here, as there usually is at auctions.
Okay, I'll take that. Does this plan exploit a vulnerability or hit your target where they're weakest?
I mean, sorry. The Toymaker, this is when he's weakest. The small period where he's out there selling the information before he disappears again. You could not take that. That's also fine. But we can connect him to other stuff that would further incriminate him as...
Yeah, I do get where Ankh's coming from in the idea that the moments when he's actually visible would be the vulnerable points.
Yeah, of course. That's fair enough. Yeah, okay. Can any of your friends or allies provide assistance?
I think I can make a case for Shell, my vicious thug friend. The reason I feel like I can make a case for that is because if things go down, either wrong or the right way, if things go wrong, obviously having another thug out there in the crowd to help mix things up a little bit, get a little messy, have a bit of fun with it, so to speak, cause a bit of mayhem is useful. Also, if we are able to get our hands on the Toymaker, having a vicious thug in the interrogation room with you, terrifying.
Fair enough. And lastly, are there any other factors you would like to consider? Caroline, anything you'd like to...
I'm trying to think about something, but no.
Not a lot of places where a demon can be applicable in an auction. Trying to think, but it's not really apparent immediately.
Okay, so the couple of things, including the Foghound's slightly higher tier, and something that has been put into motion by Caroline, and that sends you down to 2. So here we go. Oh.
It's one of these days. Okay.
And it's as you approach. Praescio and Caroline, you're both fine as you approach the Blue Coat checkpoint. However, Ankh, and with a decided look at Templar, there's the call over from the duty sergeant. You look like you're up to something, boy. So I'm going to make you a deal. I'll hand it over, or something for the old retirement fund, and I'll let you go on your way. So, Templar and Ankh, either you pay a coin each, or drop your load by 1 level. So, Ankh, you'd go to light, and Templar, you'd go to normal.
Templar's gonna kind of raise a... I'm so sorry. Would you deprive the ladies within the cart here, their bodyguard? That doesn't seem very gentlemanly of you.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't, does it? Hand it over.
I'll pay the coin. Actually, I'll pay his coin. I don't really care if I go down to light.
Okay, so you're dropping to light and sort of sifts through a few bits and pieces that you throw down onto this very functional old trestle table.
I point to like a bag with like a bit of like hair poking out. I'm like, oh, I wouldn't mess with that one. It's I just point to the spirit mask on my hip, and I'm like, I wouldn't recommend.
Sorry for the inconvenience. And he gives them a nod, gives the rest of the checkpoints a nod, and they allow you to go through.
I look over to Ankh. I'll pay you back. I'm good
It's
for it.
fine. I know you are.
With that there, as the diminishing sounds of the barking patrol dogs and the is replaced by the distant, raucous, if you can call it, singing of Leviathan hunters and mariners on shore leave, the clatter of carriages pulled by goats, very, very functional dock workers and drawing as these goats draw the load along on these carts that clatter over the cobblestones. You find yourselves in the docks and at the entrance of Gin Alley, where you can see, looking down, a few figures all trying to look as inconspicuous as possible, and the majority looking as shifty as is humanly possible in doing so. Its hats are pulled down low, collars are pulled up, some people are there in masks, it's mostly a scarf pulled up over the nose and mouth. There is no way they don't look like they're up to something. And as you look, the door is opened, and the rather hulking, somewhat hunched over figure that you saw yesterday, Templar, stands in the doorway as he allows people in.
Well, not even gonna really give him a second glance. I'm gonna try to shuffle in with the rest of the people, knowing full well I'm gonna get stopped.
There's a point where you see him look at you decidedly, your height somewhat giving you away. Wary, but doesn't have any reason to suspect you otherwise, given that you're... And as you pass by him, there is a point of opening up, he opens up his jacket, just to show you that he too is prepared for. The fact you've gone in heavy is immediately noticeable.
Of course.
And and you see that he's in there. He has a billy club with several nails driven through it.
And actually, as soon as I get in, Templar is just going to immediately step to the side of the door as if he's just going to stay at the door.
You see the bear of a man sort of allowing the last few in, and then just double checks up and down the street once you're all inside, and gives the door this sort of big heave, big metal thing sliding sideways, and sort of wraps the chain, doesn't bolt it, but wraps the chain in the lock to stop any would-be intruders from the other side, likely, rather than anyone within the building. Looking around, you see a few figures, mostly in the corners, and most likely themselves foghounds, dressed in the typical wear of seafarers, wax jackets being very popular to keep out the elements, as several of them have a few bits and pieces that they're looking to move on as quickly and painlessly as possible. From the top level, there is an old shelf which is otherwise abandoned, and you see the familiar shape and outline of especially with the quite wide-brimmed hat of Goldie. She kind of looks down, surveying the goings-on more out of curiosity than any kind of direct involvement. And on the far side, by the main door leading to the main warehouse, is Marguerite Vale, the undisputed leader of the Foghounds, who's got this enormous pipe, really kind of the long mouthpiece that she kind of holds down almost at her waist and puffs away. Is there anything you would like to do while you're here?
So, where are we right now?
So you're in this.
Okay.
So this is essentially a second storage room, functional office of the main warehouse. You're all inside. The only one I know where they are specifically is Templar, who's taken a position up by the door. He stands on one side, Bear stands on the other.
Are we all in this same room or just Templar?
No, you're all in there together. Everyone's
okay.
been filed in, and Bear has secured the door to stop anyone from the outside getting in now.
I'd probably see Goldie as a familiar face and just make my way over there and start some idle chatter. That's an option.
She kind of tips the hat. She's like sat up on the top level of these huge shelves, sort of multiple layers that go down. She's sat on the top one, and the two of you sort of begin this vertical conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? Anything you would like to do? Nothing. No. A few moments pass. The chatter begins to die down as Marguerite begins to step into the room, placing the pipe down. Well, here we are, one and all. You know why we're here. We're selling something on behalf of an associate of ours. Said associate would rather remain anonymous for the sake of this transaction. You know what it is. We know what it is. Let's not have anything else further to add to that. Any questions before we begin? She kind of turns around, facing the room.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Out of game. Was anyone protecting a room or anything? Is there any indication where the toy maker may be, or is it just like, who knows?
I think.
Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think from the information we had, I think we were kind of under the assumption that, especially because of the engagement role, I think we were under the assumption that the toy maker was going to be here to actually sell the information. But I don't think we actually confirmed that. But that was the assumption we were under.
I'm going to say at this point, you can all make me, anyone can make you can do it as a group action, you could do it as assisting, but it's going to be a survey or a study, or even a sway. So feel free to do a teamwork or assist, however you will.
I have one in...
I have one in study.
Remember, you can assist as well. You take one stress, and you can assist somebody else. Give them a bonus die.
I got 2 studies. What do you think?
Ooh, I also... Would hunt also work? Because I do also have a point in hunt.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, I think at this point it's probably just better for me to assist. I've only got 1 die in pretty much all the applicable stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I also just have 1 die in anything.
Yeah.
That could be used.
In study.
To study. Nice.
Would you like to assist on a study?
If can Arasi lead a team action with me, and then Cathal can assist Arasi.
Okay.
So you can both. You could do a team action. I don't know if you can. Can you do a team action and assist? I don't know if you can.
where the two players are doing two different teamwork actions. Me and Orasi are engaged in a
Study.
teamwork action, and Cathal would be assisting someone as his teamwork action. He is not also rolling. I was wondering
So,
if that could be.
I don't think you can assist on. I will need to check this later, but for now, I'm going to say I don't think you can assist on a teamwork roll.
Okay.
So, but it's not to say that Cathal can't assist Caroline, for example.
Right. Do you have study, Caroline, or?
Survey.
Yes, I have 2 dots.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, then I will
Nice.
assist Caroline.
Okay, so Caroline on the study, you could roll 3 dice with an assist, and then the 2 of you are doing a teamwork action. Is that on study as well?
Yes. Do you want to lead it, or do you want me to? Whoever leads it, whenever someone rolls a 1, they take, or 1 through 3, they take.
2 or 3, yeah. That's right, yes. So a failed roll get you that. Gives you that stress. Only whoever's leading the roll.
Yeah.
I lead.
Okay, so both of you roll me study, and then Caroline, give me that check as well. And I'll give you different things for this as well. So you've got
Got a 4.
so
4.
Rossi,
got a 4.
so we got 4, and then just on Caroline with a +1.
Yeah, so 3.
3 dice, so just a +1. Yeah.
Just +1, yes, yeah.
Okay. That's a mistake.
1
Oh.
4.
4, right, okay. So, as you... We'll start with Caroline. As Marguerite is speaking, she's going through this bit of a spiel beforehand. You notice that as she mentions this cellar, her eyes dart to the corner of the room. You are able, and with that, you're able to get a little indication back to Templar to show where she was pointing, where a figure stands somewhat in the half-light. This place kind of illuminated from above with very, very functional overhanging metal strip lighting that buzzes audibly and flickers occasionally, and you see just out of where the light is falling a figure who stands there in quite a wide-brimmed hat, evidently trying to keep his face concealed, and from beneath that a bristling beard. And while on the edge, this figure doesn't seem to be engaging particularly much. It's the other side of the room. You see the 2 of you are able to get an indication to one another as to something in the corner, which is evidently the object in question, which is now being sold off to the highest bidder. Looks to be contained within a very well-travelled lockbox. Sides are battered, the casing's scratched, but very durable. As Marguerite continues to circulate the room, she continues on the terms as she says, now obviously this is something of a quiet operation. We don't want anything going south from this. No names, no details, nothing personal is shared within this space. Nothing that anyone can give you up for later. Turns around, spreads her arms and questions. What do you got?
I just kind of shout out, like, how do we know the information's legitimate?
You don't. You got my word, and that's should be good enough. You ever bought from us before, you know that counts for something at least, and before you ask, yes, I've seen it. It's good. As she walks over towards that lockbox that you saw before and kind of swings it around on one hand and throws it up onto another table. You hear the crack as some of the wood goes with the force that this thing lands with. She puts her hand on top of it. So, lot one and only. Start bidding at 5 coin. What am I bid? As a few voices kind of emerge as the values begin to go, as she starts to give this a bit of a spiel. 5 coin, 5 coin, 6 coin, 6 coin, 6 coin, 7 coin, don't hear 7 coin, 7 coin, got 7 coin, 8 coin, and values begin to escalate. And with that, what would you like to do? Anyone?
Out of game. This is the player here now going, maybe we should turn this into a robbery? Like,
Yeah.
8 coin already? Like, whoa.
I'm just looking around. I'm just trying to think of what's the best thing to steal at this point. Because I think if I could choose any one thing, I can probably get away with it.
Surprise!
Probably.
Surprise! We've turned this into a shadow game.
I think in the middle of this room, it's going to be much more of a smash and grab.
Yeah.
So, also, question to the GM. Would our adepts be here as well?
You start with them, don't you?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I would say yes, because this is going to be fun.
All right. So, we know where our target is. We assume the information's also in that box. We also know that she has the information. So we already know this information's kind of spread around a little bit.
Yeah. There's at least 3 sources already. He
Yeah.
has it, it's in the box, and she knows it. And that's just assuming she hasn't told any of her people.
Yeah, so I think the scope of this score just got a little bit bigger.
Yeah. We can't really prevent from pissing off the foghounds at this point.
I feel like several cases of amnesia need to be caused.
Percussive maintenance, it's fine. I am contemplating. I'm trying to gauge how many people are like looking at the toy maker at any one time. I'm wondering if there's an opportunity where I can just turn invisible, walk over, blackjack him on the back of the head, and kind of just drag him into the shadow like Hitman style.
Make me the check if you want.
Wait.
Yeah. Do you want me to? So would that be study to like find the right moment, or? Because if I roll to look for it, it would be a nested roll because I'd have to look for the moment and then do it. Do you want me just to do a prowl check?
You could do a prowl, you could do a skirmish. We'll do it as a single roll, but whatever it's going to be, it is a desperate action.
Okay.
Wait.
Here we go.
All right. Can anyone assist me by distracting?
So there was something there from Praescio as well.
Yeah. What was that?
Praescio, sorry.
Okay. I can assist. Yeah, I can distract.
So 1 stress and +1 to your roll. So yeah, Praescio, you take 1 stress and then.
So it's desperate. Fuck. Desperate. With okay. So since I am using Ghost Veil, it's going to I can't just get up right behind him, so I won't be able to make it for a few moments. So it has to last for a few minutes.
Okay, so that's
And
another. That's
yeah, and if I don't
That's
want to
one
get
stress.
seen, I have to be invisible. So that's gonna be 4 whole stress right there.
oh,
Can we say
we'll
that also gets?
We'll say greater effect.
Okay. Oh, man, it's a costly ability. So, 1 bonus dice from the assist. Got a 4. What does that mean here?
You succeeded with a consequence.
It does.
With the consequence.
Yes.
Yep.
As you dip
Right
into the
side,
shadows.
prowess to soul. Sorry.
As you duck into the shadows, disappearing and becoming one with the darkness, you can't help but feel in that silence, and as you don't quite transcend into the ghost field, but you're not quite out of it, that in that moment you are not alone. And we're going to call the session here. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe. And we'll see you next time on the Domain and Blades in the Dark. Thank you for watching.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Blades in the Dark, What Happens in the Dusk, part of the Domain Gaming, written and told by Livespark and Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. As always, comments are welcome. Until the next chapter, to those without direction, follow the lights in the quiet darkness and listen to the silent whisper. Do you hear it?